But no, but listen. You have to listen. Catholic government and practice. Yeah, by the way, you sound like my asshole. Also, it's not correct. This tech is lame. Good luck not having any fun. Let's hear your meaningful art. I'm fairly sure it's derivative, drivel, or unlistenable. Actually, don't bother. I'm just going to block this account so I never have to see your face again. You know how I know I will never see your face again? It's because you are going nowhere with this attitude. Yeah.
Wow. That is a good
Can you
one.
take a screenshot later and put it on our Facebook?
Yeah. So fucking good.
Thank you. You're gonna strike back on him, I hope.
Yeah. Well, you know, striking's
What?
fun.
Oh, it's gone? You don't strike back anymore?
I think it's just.
It's not worth the risk?
I feel like now our Facebook is doing so well that
Why
I might
fuck with
get
it?
shot.
Yeah, why fuck
And
with
it's
it?
not like Facebook. If it's like too good, and Facebook.
Are
will
we
turn
doing
it
well? I
off.
haven't posted memes in a while.
I post memes all the
I
time.
post them
now.
all the time.
Yeah, I started doing the Zen thing, which I wanted to
What
do
do you
back
get?
in the
What do
day.
you get the memes from? Just like guitar opinions and stuff.
No,
like
no,
that?
I do some. I do some of my own.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did the spaghetti.
Yeah, I can
the
be
mac and
back
cheese
of it
one.
after Shopify will start.
Yeah. So we started a Shopify. Let's start the episode
No.
like that.
No.
What?
Yeah, we would want to.
I think we already started the episode.
No, we did not. Oh, well, was it filming?
Yeah, we're filming.
Okay, but
You read the comment with such eagerness. And
Okay,
honesty.
okay.
I
We
feel
started
like-
the comment. Yeah, we
Yeah.
started Shopify, which you guys get a special promo if you listen to it.
Wow, you really went into the
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, well, go
Yeah.
ahead. Tell them the promo.
Oh, what are we gonna call it? Something. It's
Podcast 20.
Podcast 20.
Podcast
and you get
20.
20% off your entire order.
Oh yeah, so we started a Shopify account. What we have there is like a free sampler CD. We mail you the sampler, Marbin CD, one song from every track, in a mailer. And then if you buy any other merch, then shipping is free. Too, and we have, but anything in the store, we have a bunch of new designs for hoodies, for shirts. We have our vinyl. We have 3 books out, which are the Dirty Horse Transcriptions, How to Stop Sucking, which is a little book.
It's an
that Danny
incomplete
wrote.
guide.
Yeah, but we're actually gonna.
I'm
beef
gonna
it
try
up.
and complete it.
Yeah.
I was just busy, but I'm gonna try and complete it. But
Yeah.
for now, it's an incomplete guide. It's
Yeah,
very
and
good.
then we have the Marbin anthology, but everything 20% off for our lovely podcast listeners. Yeah, but in any case, you're gonna get back in the meme game. Yeah, I've been kind of crushing it. So I started Zen. I download like these really Zen pictures, and then I do like an ancient Zen proverb thing, and people really lose their mind.
Oh, we're mad?
They're very mad.
You're very good at making people mad.
I really am. It's one of my gifts. Like one of the things that I say that recently made the most people mad is that practicing isn't playing, and
Yeah, I just said it too.
this
Probably
just
in the book.
reminds me. It reminds me of like the time. This is one of the best nights of my life, really, when I was like telling Blake that he can't get trashed while doing speed before he plays drums
he
because he
said,
sounds like shit.
I get it, won't have fun anymore.
Yeah, I guess I won't have fun anymore.
It was in after a show in Syracuse.
Yeah.
When he was trying to leg this chick on the bar.
Yeah, and I was just like, it's like, yeah, don't have fun anymore.
Funk and waffles.
Yeah, who gives a shit if you're having fun? Having fun as a measure for like how well
say,
you're.
as a man, men don't have fun.
No, but I'm saying it's like it's so stupid. Like you're doing awesome shit is fun, right? But it's not fun all the time. Even like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like I don't even know. It's so far from how I live my life and how I think about things that I don't have an honest way of engaging with this thing. Because I posted a thing about how
I don't
There's
pursue fun in any form.
as a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even when people are having fun, I tend to not be, like, when I go to like a club, which is like a room where people are, I don't. But
When I go to something.
in every instance of my life where I was in a room that was supposed to be a fun place, I was always the person not having fun. I don't have fun amongst other people. You know what I mean? Like, I have fun talking shit in the van.
You have fun.
I have fun.
Just you and another guy in a dark alley.
Yeah.
Not
Yes. Me and a friend in a dark alley is how I have
and
fun.
a stranger friend. A friend
Yeah.
you haven't. A stranger is a friend you haven't met yet.
Could you imagine? Could you go to like a place where lots of people have fun and have fun?
Yeah, of course.
Do you like? Can you imagine yourself in like
Can I
a
give you
concert?
examples?
Yes, give me
No.
examples. Like, could you be in a big concert and have fun?
No.
It's fucking crazy, right?
No, definitely not. Like how big? How big
Like a
is it?
U2 concert.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Um,
I went to see Roger Waters' concert. That was not fun. We were in Israel and it was
dude,
just
the
literally.
traffic. How did you get there? I'm guessing you
Bus.
took a yeah. You
I
had
mean,
to.
there's no, yeah, dude. He played in Israel and it was like just,
It was
it's-
close to my house.
huh?
It was close to my house.
Yeah, it sucked, dude. Like, first of all, the music was like okay, but like I like his music, but he was just kind of yelling at us for being like asshole Israelis.
Yeah,
for,
and
like,
then
I was
after
just-
taking all that money, and
Yeah.
then he told everybody not to go to Israel to play shows.
yeah, and he played like one of the biggest shows in their history, made millions of
I think
dollars.
the biggest.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, everybody was just kind of looking at us like, it's like play the wall. This is weird. Why is this old guy screaming at us? We didn't do nothing. But yeah, so that guy's a fucking Nazi. But anyways, no, but that was not fun. I always think I'll have fun, and then I show up and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this situation. Anyways, the point is that fun is a
I have fun on
pursuit.
too.
Yeah, that's awesome. But it's objectively like, you're like with a bunch of dudes in a dirty hotel room, feeling bad for like all the guys.
We did not feel bad this weekend.
I'm
even
saying
once.
No, feeling bad for like guys in their like big houses
Oh yeah,
that have to go to bed with their wives and kids. It's like, ha ha ha.
We had
you
a
know.
time. We had a good time,
Time
this
of our
weekend. It was
lives.
too fun this weekend.
Dude, I
Can't believe John didn't come. What an idiot.
fucking retard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a sub bassist, and my God, because when you change drummers, it's like having open heart surgery, and sometimes like like the way you wake up from it as a band is different. It's like it affects everything about your identity as a band.
Yes.
But changing bassists really feels like having a boo boo.
Not even. I had a dream. I actually had a nightmare before.
Yeah, it's stressful
Because we didn't rehearse.
Yeah.
And
He just
the
showed-
last week, man, no, 2 days before, I was like, what the fuck? We're going to play a show, like
With a
3
guy we
shows,
don't know.
selling tickets with a guy we don't know, never played before. And I called Danny and I was like, yeah,
What are we
it's too late
doing?
now.
Yeah.
And he came and he knew everything as if he played with he just listened to the music so much.
Yeah.
Like he's
He
a legit fan of the
and
music.
Prepared.
And
He was
prepared
so
for-
excited to play.
So he just knew everything. He didn't miss a thing.
Yeah,
Like
all
no
the
the
lines.
transition, never missed an ending, never missed an entrance. It was insane.
Yeah, and the shit that he wouldn't play, he just sat out on. Like he's like, I can't play the intro for African Shop.
And I was like, nobody can.
No bassist ever could. And I played it on the album because our fucking guy, was always pretending to play it at shows, and then we listened to this isolated track.
Yeah.
No notes.
No.
So yeah, I just played it with a pick. I played that whole track. Yeah. People don't know, but I have quite a career as a shadow bassist.
Yeah, you also played the intro on Jumbo.
Yep. Yeah, he couldn't play.
I remember he called me really upset about it, about things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, Danny's fucking playing my parts in the studio. It's like, well, you can't play your
I
parts.
said,
Somebody's
Sonny is
gotta.
a douche.
That's what I do too.
No, it's not. What? I never do that. I know you do it. I know Danny does. It's why I'm a boss. I didn't do that.
Whenever anybody's upset at anybody, I never take anybody's position. I'm like, yeah, he's fucking ass.
Oh no, I completely took your position.
I would
No,
never
if
do
you
that.
remember, in Cookville, he came to me. He came to me. It was just him. It wasn't Greg. He came to me like freaking out because we would give him shit all the time, and you would give him like shit, and he was about to quit the band anyway a few days later, and but he kind of was fed of it, and he fed up, and he wanted me to be on his side for some reason, which is like why? Like I remember he used to say stuff like, I know you and Danny are talking shit about me in gigs. I was like, well, we don't really, but it's like if you don't learn the songs, it's the same tunes. It's like, yeah, we mention it. Now, the funny thing is, I don't even know if we talk shit about him, the specific gig that he was talking about. But I was like, yeah, whatever. but he was saying, well, it's like, and I told him, it's like, you talk shit about me and Danny with Greg, I'm sure. If it was telling us, I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, just you guys know English, so you don't want to say it in front of me. I'm fine. It's like, whatever. It's like, I tell you what I think anyway.
Right.
In English later, just
Yeah.
because I mentioned it to Danny. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not the most fun. We better not talk. You know my position on stuff like that. I rather not talk about it.
Sure.
But like, if you make me, I would tell you.
Yeah.
And also, he said, so in Cookville, we're outside of Chow. And that's the place he used to play, Cookville. And he's like, Danny gets drunk every night. He used to play 3 sets a night then. Danny gets drunk every night and he fucking messes up like parts and he plays wrong notes on the melodies and he fucks up. And I told him, but Danny plays awesome shit all the time. So it's not a big deal if he misses something.
Yeah.
Like I told him, I don't really care
Yeah.
about it happens that you miss something. That's not the
Yeah.
part
Well,
that I
like,
care about.
I'm going for things. Of course I'm going to miss things.
Yeah. Like it didn't mean like you missed like a line.
I know, I miss melody notes here and there, and I get sloppy.
Yeah, I remember he dated an oboist.
Yeah, I was talking shit about your embouchure.
Yeah, and she was saying about she was talking shit about Danny's time and about my embouchure.
I remember the moment she stopped
like-
liking me because we were talking. I forget exactly what I said, but it was something along, like it was something about how fat women are not attractive.
She wasn't
And
fat.
I know.
She was really skinny.
I know. We were sitting. It was here in more like the brewery
Yeah.
that they used to have, where we used to play gypsy jazz
Yeah.
on Morse. And
remember that night.
she came to the show, and the subject came up, and like I was just like she was just saying something in general, and I was just saying how like fat women are less attractive than skinny chicks with big tits, which I thought was just objectively correct. And at that moment, she decided she doesn't like my guitar playing, and she was telling him about it like every night.
Well, she was doing it the way she was doing it. So Greg's now wife obviously didn't like us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, she thinks we're racist.
Yeah, she thinks a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it's not even the point. The point is that she didn't like us, and she, she has her reasons. But, but
That was the best moment of life. I have to tell the story. I don't know if it's too
no,
racy.
I'm not telling the story.
I'm telling just the first
He
part.
knows the story, and it's
No,
like,
the
do
fir-
not tell
the
the
first
story.
one. Well, no, this girl, she's Indian, and we were driving in the car, and we were talking about racism, and Danny said, was anybody ever racist towards you?
Like she's an
And-
Indian chick would go up in the
suburbs
suburb with a lot of
Chicago.
money.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, somebody called me the N-word.
Driving from a car in a
Drive-
suburb.
on the suburbs, and Danny just turned to her and said, "Nindian?"
The boys thought I was really funny.
Everybody was dying. Her husband to be was laughing for a second
It's-
before she like hit him, and then he quit the band mysteriously. I don't know what happened there. Fucking Indians.
Yeah. I know. Women just don't agree with those things are funny. But
Yeah.
it's funny. No, but I'm saying she has a reason.
Actually, I feel like if you're married to them for enough time, they start filtering your humor out. Like it's
Like
as
with-
if I'm talking a foreign language now at home. Like I can say crazy shit now. Nobody listens to me.
I cannot.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. But that she is very okay. I understand why she doesn't like us.
Mm-hmm.
It's also there is a thing I was explaining to Shkendia. Well, one night I'm doing a detour, but I explained to Shkendia when we were at your place. I was explaining to her how we talk the way we talk, because when we were with the boys, and sometimes one of the women or girls are there, and then the other guys talk like we talk, but the guy doesn't obviously. And I said, then you go home and you say stuff like, Danny is such an asshole. I can't believe the shit he was saying. And she was like, yes. And I said, but when it's your woman,
You have to
then
absorb
you're
it.
the one
Yeah, it
that
sucks.
needs to go home and be like, that's what you guys talking about? That's the stuff you guys say? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff in the culture that's coming out about the culture of masculinity is just women telling us that we're not supposed to have fun anymore.
And it's not funny. And yeah, sometimes they're right.
Dude, it's just, here's the thing. It's not fun for them to hang out with us because our shit is funny to us and it's not funny to them.
But when they tell me about, like, Lauren sometimes tell me about the shit that she talks with women that I feel like she barely knows or with her friends, it's like, it's inappropriate in
It's
so many
so
levels.
over the top, yeah.
It's like you should not talk about this stuff to anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that stuff.
It's like, yeah. Like it's starting a conversation like my dog died of ass cancer, you know, and this girl is committed suicide and this, it's just like really fucking heavy shit.
And it's like I had an emotional affair with my husband's brother or something like, you know, stuff
Yeah.
like shit like that.
Yeah, it's just like, what if, yeah, because it's like when a guy tells me that, I'm like, oh. It's like, I don't know.
Like why?
Yeah.
This is not
Because we don't
appropriate.
talk, we just, you know, we like to have a good time. We don't
Yeah.
like to talk about shit like that. It's
Yeah.
depressing.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Yeah, we don't talk about like the side of the vaginas.
No. No.
But what? Yeah. To bring it all back to
Yes.
what I was trying to say is that John's girlfriend, John's girlfriend, thank you, Nick. John's girlfriend at the time, she was the kind of Yoko Ono girlfriend that was like, hey, you should start your own band. They are holding you back.
Yeah.
This guy with his ambassador and this guy in the time, they're holding you back from shining. You should have your own band.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did it, and then a month in, we broke up.
Yep.
No, the girlfriend and the band.
Yep.
And look at us now! Giving discount codes like it's nothing! Yeah.
That's true.
Podcast 25.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny. It's so hard to get anything going. Like, I think it's something all our sidemen always, like, that's the illusion. I mean, I still remember, like, the feeling, in my first marriage, I had this especially where, like, I felt like everybody wanted to bang me. And then the moment I was single, I realized that nobody wanted to bang me.
Only the hundreds of women that you banged between
Well-
your wives?
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Other than them.
No.
There was hundreds of women.
no, it's just, it was a lot of work. It was not like it was like very, very readily available.
They want to, but they want you to do a certain dance with it. Yes.
I guess maybe I was more successful than the average rhythm section member at starting their own shit. But
Yes.
But I'm saying it's when you're in a thing, when you're in a project, it really feels like, you know, you are on the verge, like that any one of your ideas could lead to something that will be equivalent to what you have, right? That like the situation you're in is not rare and it's taking the time and energy that you could dedicate to a different situation. But the truth is that like coming across our band, nothing about it was typical. It
It's
was just,
also,
it was just like weird.
when you're an employee, there is this thing that happens to you immediately, that you look at your boss and you think, this guy's an idiot, whatever he can do, I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Ben actually used to argue about it a lot, because Ben used to be like, I can drive a race car if I wanted to. I was like, no, you can't. It's like, it just doesn't, you don't understand. Ben would talk about everything like it's so easy. Like everything in the world was so easy other than the stuff that he's doing right now, which is being a musician.
Right.
Like he can figure out everything super fast and do it to the most, like be the most successful at it, other than being a musician.
Right.
I was like, does that sound to you a little bit odd? What are the chances that the only thing that you have, that you can figure out is the thing that you're doing?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with assignment. It's they just, oh, Danny's booking shows, I can do it better. Danny's doing social, you are doing like all the social media stuff that you used to do on Facebook. It's too much this, it's too much of that. I would do it better.
Right.
But when it's time to do it, we discover that the challenges of doing it are very different than what they thought they were.
Yeah. I mean, I think people, they don't understand. And I think, especially rhythm section members that kind of have a very one-dimensional role to play in music. You know what I mean? They show up and they play, and a lot is out of their hands. Like, I have yet to see the rhythm section member that is in a state of constant work. Like,
Yes.
I work constantly.
Greg was. He was practicing.
He was working on himself. Yes,
Yes,
he was
he was.
practicing. But that's true. But I think that was a phase.
Actually, I
too.
think Greg and Ian.
I think those are phases for them. I don't think. And also, you know, work alone isn't enough because it's. I think that to do that, if you're going to be that kind of guy, like, I don't think Greg. Well, Greg is more like that than most of the people I know. Matteo Mancuso or somebody like that is like that, to where you can sit at home, dream up kind of the player you want to be, become that, film that, sell that, and that's the whole business, right? That does exist. It's rare, but because the course correcting there is so rare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't have any honest feedback from the world until you like get to this place where you're like putting the social media
Yes.
stuff out. It's just, I mean, you see some people now. I think that's really kind of a Zoomer skill, you know, that they somehow, very few of them, but some of them can really become, you know, a mature player in the archetype of player that they're attempting to be, which is really weird. It's very dressed down. It's separated and it's stripped down of the mythology of players. It's not like a Steve Vai where, you know, you imagine this alien, like the marketing's gone. You know what I mean? There's no romanticism to it. You just get the person, like with a fisheye camera in front of you.
They're also kind of, in some ways, it's to make the player more important than music. Like
Yeah.
even in our playing in our music, which is based on us completely, and you can't really switch us and do the same music, it's our playing within the context of that type of music. You can't really take it out and have the same player.
I mean, I would like to think that the way we are perceived when somebody listens to our music is our songs.
Yeah.
I think that's, to me, that's the thing that really comes across. But maybe, you know, honestly, I think that I have the way that I would like to be perceived and the way that I am perceived. And I think for a lot of people, like, they get to know us through YouTube or something, which is like
And that's very different,
it's my worst nightmare. Because I want people to know us through
The music.
seeing a show.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
or
same as live shows.
seeing a live show especially, and if not that, then listening to an album and having an idea.
Yeah.
But if they're kind of like getting into us through like the audio tree sessions, God forbid, or something like
Yeah.
where we played like shit, and then kind of like gradually hearing the other stuff, it's a harder thing for me to imagine. But in any case, yeah, my point was how you know, how those kind of people that like their only role to play, like, you know, practicing guitar is something that I have to make myself do to not lose skill and occasionally to learn some new shit. But in the context of everything we're doing, it's, you know, I work constantly, but I don't work constantly on that.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
it's just like I'm making so much content, doing the orders for the Shopify, like whatever needs to happen at the time. But like I work the whole time. I don't have any hobbies. I don't take breaks from it. You know what I mean? And yeah, and it's like this thing that like people don't. They see people around them, and they don't, like, you could be in the same van as me, and somehow not see the amount of work that goes into it.
Well, of course, I know it with booking. When everybody in our band talked about booking tools, And when they save a booking, it's like, oh, we just go one,
Yeah,
we
one
just go
city,
and
one city, one
yeah,
city.
one city, and we think like, oh, it's so easy. I just get a show get a show in Indianapolis, Louisville, Atlanta, like Nashville, Atlanta, and then I'm in Florida. But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
It's
because it's
like
like a puzzle with moving pieces.
yeah, and you get show in Florida, and it's not the day you wanted, and you have to move everything, and you have to reroute, and you have to go around,
And
it's like,
everything takes 5 days for people to answer.
at least,
At
sometimes
least, yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
And you get two things for the same one, and you decide. So it's a huge chaos. We don't understand it the way it is. But we just see the final product, So it's like that's what we think, and then we discover very quickly that it's more complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they don't have time to do the things
And
they
it's
want to do
very
with
hard.
their
I
time.
think what you're saying. I think it's very even people that work very hard. It's very easy to work to practice. It's not easy because most people don't do it, but it's very easy in some ways to practice music because you know what you put in and you know you're gonna get something back, which is getting better. But the hard thing about being a musician is that you're gonna do a ton of work and invest a ton of time and money a lot of times, and you don't know what's gonna happen. Like when we booked a tour, like now we think it's gonna be okay, but when we used to book a tour with zero guarantees, nobody knew us, so you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how many people are going out. Even now you don't know, but it's like it's a complete risk. Like you can you can really eat it. Like I remember the first tour we did it had no guarantees in 2016, and it's like yeah, we didn't know what's gonna happen.
No.
Like we could have lost our pants on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
My mom was telling me that there's one of the famous philosophers. The definition of intelligence was to be able to deal with uncertainty. To navigate through an uncertain situation. You have to be very intelligent to deal in chaos and still make good decisions weigh out things and like in the busking and stuff like that. They just make up something that's going to make your situation work.
yeah, yeah, but it's very, yeah, but it is very hard for people to understand because I remember I used to talk to Iran, and he used to with like my stepdad, and he was talking to me about when he started working, and it was one of the first tech people I feel like in Israel, or maybe not, maybe second generation. I don't know. I feel like maybe one of the first, and even then, like yeah, you still worked for companies and knew that you're gonna get a paycheck. When we do stuff, we did all this work, and you don't know what you're gonna get.
Oh, of course.
And a lot of stuff can go wrong, and a lot of stuff did go wrong, especially in the beginning. But the more you do, the easier it is, because a lot of your expenses stay the same. Like a lot of them grow, but a lot of them stay the same.
Well,
Like
I mean,
when your van break and you have to put $1,500, it was very different when we made. If you make $7,000 a week, than when you make $800 a week, which is when we had aggressive hippie story happen, which we made $800 a week. That was our goal, to pass $800 for a fucking week,
Yeah.
right? Which is crazy.
It's no money.
And yeah, and it's like, and when you get like a $1,500 van repair,
Yeah.
and we have to miss a show, so we have to make a drive that's two show length.
Yeah.
You have to find the parts. A lot of times when our van broke, we had to go
Drive all around to get the parts.
to get rent a car and get the parts. So yeah,
No, it majorly sucks, but yeah, I mean it's crazy in the beginning of anything though. Like what we started with, with Nick, with the YouTube and the Patreon. We started from literally nothing, and it's like now it's a small business. It's really fucking crazy. It's like in 1 year later, but like the first, like 7-8 months in, like it was nothing.
Yeah, now it's finally it started like this January really. Like this month.
Things
really
started
started.
moving.
Yeah, to a point where it's no.
But yeah, you gotta decide what you're gonna do, and then just do it really hard. Like do it, just be competitive. Be like look at what people around, look at the energy people around you are investing in something, and just match it and add some. That's just how it has to be if you want to move, ahead. But you have the power to move ahead in life, if you really are just willing to push.
Well, if you know what you want to do, then
Yeah.
it's easier, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I had a thought yesterday. I was listening to, because I was like, look, I was in the car driving back from Milwaukee with my wife and my daughter, and I was like, I'm going to show my daughter some cool music, and I was just like, she's never heard Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't know the best shit.
Yeah,
you
but
know
an
what I mean?
overplayed thing.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
she doesn't
'cause
know
like,
Beatles, she doesn't know anything.
yeah, so I was playing her Beatles, and I was listening to Beatles, and I was just thinking, like, why, what was the cultural thing that made it be so big? Like, I understand a lot, like, you know, from a musical standpoint, I understand a lot of things, but like the fact that they were playing that Ed Sullivan show,
Yeah.
and all of America saw them on TV, and then everybody was a Beatle fan. What did they see? Like, because this is something that's not reproducible now
No.
in any capacity. You can't, and then you look at, you know, the way they were rocking out was very tame in today's standards, right? Like, you have Nas X, like, what is he doing? Like, sliding to hell to suck the devil's cock or something. So he's
And nobody
more,
cares.
and nobody gives a shit, right? He's more edgy. But like, I was just thinking about like the thing, like, it's a theory. I don't know if that's true, but like the thing that they seem to have invented is being a punk, like being a brat, like in this generation of like the 50s with like strict education with values. They're just like, I'm gonna
no,
like
they had-
scream and like, you know, just be a little bit edgy. It seemed
But
like,
Nick, didn't we have people like, I feel like we had to have like the version of it in the 20s, the hoodlums and whatever.
not in music,
In music.
not in culture. It was like everything in culture was very like tame. I think like they were really capitalizing on this.
What was the popular music before? The jazz?
Yeah,
It's like Elvis
Sinatra.
before that, he was pretty raunchy.
Well, yeah, but he had no punk in him. He was like, you know, he was kind of like, it was like West Side Story. He was being cool, right? Elvis was a cool guy. He was wearing a leather jacket and he was dancing, but you know, it was like more. But they were like, to me, like they were just kind of like,
What
They
song
had
did
this
we play
angst.
on Ed Sullivan? What songs did we play?
I think it's like Twist and Shout and shit like that, you know, like that era Beatles.
Yeah,
like,
that would be.
yeah. So, yeah, I was just thinking, like, did they ruin the world? Like, did they just unleash this fucking energy that, like, people just, like, is the whole culture of rock and roll just, like, a very destructive thing? I had this thought.
False kids!
That's good. I really did have this thought. Like,
Why won't you?
Well,
Why
my-
won't you Beatles?
my dad was a huge
Cut your hair.
My dad was a huge Beatles fan, so I always thought about it like
Like your dad's music.
I've never considered it to be like I never entertained the thought that culturally it's a destructive force. But then I thought about everything that followed and how influential they were, and the very quick spiraling of pop into like absolute garbage. Like it, because I do think that like there was, when you listen to Queen, Billy Joel, Elton John, people like that,
Billy Joel is so good.
it's the height. It's the absolute, like the generation that directly followed Beatles were Beatles, you know, that were hanging out with the Beatles, you know. They're not even the generation after. They're just like the generation sort of directly after that was just
Yeah,
very
kind of like Charlie
influenced by
Parker
it.
and Sonny Stitt. Like they had a
Exactly.
lot
They
of,
like took all of the production, but it was, they're super skillful at their instruments and like knew harmony, and it's like that to me is the height of American pop music and British pop music. And then quickly after that, just went all the way to shit, to my ear at least.
I don't think that I have a different take. I think that I told you I saw this play that from 1920. It was a reading from 1920, and it was basically about the same stuff, about how the declining generation in America and the loss of faith and all that stuff. So it's basically the same. I think it's, and I said before, I think Andy Warhol while his art is not good, he was right about that the medium is the message, and I think it's just what happened technologically is what caused everything to be so shitty.
The internet?
Before the internet even.
Like what?
Music, like television, right? So in the beginning of 'cause in the beginning of each medium, like when television, they bring stuff. Okay, I'll explain with Facebook actually. When they started Facebook was supposed to connect people on mostly young people in colleges, kind of like more like a dating scene thing, that you see somebody and then you find them on Facebook and you can talk to them, kind of like missed connection. But very quickly it becomes its own thing. So it starts as emulating something from the culture and from life that's happening, but very quickly it's become its own thing and its own. It has its own rules, and its own function. So I think it's the same thing with television. Television started, and they tried to put music in. Where we had people like David Sanborn and Johnny Cash, and all those people have all of those shows, and it was really cool. You have us.
Oscar Peterson had a TV thing.
I was about to say, Oscar Peterson, like we would do Dexter Gordon Hour all of a sudden, like weird stuff like that. But then people doing that's the first people, right, that were involved in culture somehow and got into television. And then the second generation of it was people that understood the medium already better and understood that that's not the stuff, that whatever worked in a play, same with movies, whatever worked in a play or in a circus show is not what works on TV. And then they dumb it down immediately because that's what the medium calls for.
Right.
Because you can get way more people, you don't have to pay ticket to come in. It's a lot of stuff. You have much more exposure, it's more ages. Right? You can be like different ages something that a lot of ages can accept. And it's the same, same thing with the internet. So the beginning of it, you have all the school stuff. It was like indie music was going crazy. Indie music, I mean, not indie, like independent. Like all of a sudden, you didn't need to have a record label. You can do your own album, and all of a sudden, the artist had all this money. But very quickly, they got what it is, and it's devolved to nothing. It's like there's no, like when we started, it was already over. But we still thought about, we need to get reviews, and we send it to blogs and all that stuff. Who fucking read music blogs now?
I would never. Reading a music blog is literally like reading a comment on Facebook.
Like we stopped sending our albums to reviews because we were like, it's not even worth it.
Right.
Like it's not worth the
postage.
The postage.
Yeah.
Yeah. We really didn't even, for most of it, we don't even send free downloads anymore because like, unless we see something somebody that has like 500 followers on YouTube or something, it's like, yeah, it's not worth it. We're not gonna make it on Spotify plays. So I think it's just the medium, and every time you have a new medium, and I think that's what happened with music. I think MTV came along, and very quickly they discover that it's not really the music that keeps the people there; it's the
videos.
It's the videos, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's wild. There's so much money to be had. I think about people like, Alan Holdsworth and Scott Henderson, just like catching some of the small waves around it, like from the Van Halen pond and all that, just millions of dollars floating around the air, and they're like catching like 10 G's here, 20 G's here, like festival in Brazil, blah blah blah. It's just like, where is that shit now? It's just so gone, so long gone. Like those big opportunities. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe if you learn enough atonal Holdsworth licks, people will pay you the big bucks.
I'm curious to see what's going on with Mancuso, because Mancuso.
It's interesting.
It wasn't obvious that he's gonna be a fusion player, and he is.
Yeah.
So it's like he made.
According to Nick, he said that he won't admit it though.
He says people won't be able to hear me, so repeat it. But he says that his music is unable to be categorized.
Nick says his music is unable to be categorized. You can't categorize it. So
yeah, maybe his English is very small. No, it's called fusion.
I also don't like fusion players that hate the word fusion.
Well, we are.
I call it fusion all the time.
Yeah, we do, but on our website, like progressive jazz rock.
It's jazz that loves Pelosi.
Yeah, progressive jazz rock fusion. I think we do say fusion. Maybe just progressive jazz, progressive rock jazz.
I don't know, man. It's so dumb.
Just come to our show, Jim.
Please come to our show.
Yeah, that's
Try
our
bring in
bio.
your wife. We tell
Why did
stories.
Why? Yeah, your wife would love our stories.
Yeah, if She doesn't mind getting kicked in the pussy.
I love all the stories. Why do they care about that one?
I don't know. I guess a lot of women get kicked in the pussy. I don't know. I don't know why they care. It's weird. But yeah.
What
I
about?
was thinking, because we do like a lot of the content now with Thomas, and he's teaching me all these atonal licks. Like when we were doing Blue Bossa, I did have like a thought where, like when we talk about harmony and we like you just wrote like 20 licks. We're gonna do like a package on that where I teach your licks on guitar. And like, I listen to them and I think about my licks as like chromaticism and like little things. And I think about like, it's just like, if you do a metaphor for it and then like you bring the difference between like what we do, and it's just like, we're like telling stories about, oh man, that girl said this, she was nice, I dated her, wow, she's kind of hot, this. And then a guy sits down and he's like, anal beads. I like anal beads, and I like choking myself and coming. It's just then like you're supposed to continue the conversation.
Wait, I'm so confused. Is this my licks?
Your licks are like
Anal beads?
no.
What's going on?
Their licks are like anal beads.
Oh, I see.
I'm
You're
saying
talking
it's
about
like
the avant-garde thing.
not avant-garde,
Yes.
the Holdsworth thing. It's like,
Atonal,
because
yeah.
like you hear like this major scale thing and melodic minor, you can always come back from it. You know what I mean? It all connects.
Yeah,
to this
like
one.
the stuff that I do with going out a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
it's just like it's dancing around the same kind of subject. So you can take it in a lot. You can take it to these places that are in a conversation, almost like borderline erotic, and then come back to a normal conversation. But there are certain things you say
but you can't, yeah.
that you can't unsay in a
Yes.
room, and then everybody is just like, it's like, okay, you talk now.
Yes. Okay, now I got it.
It's just so fucking intense because you play one of those anal beads licks, and then your entire solo has to be like sodomizing. You just have
Yes.
to sodomize the whole time.
Correctly.
You can't move back from it. Even in a Holdsworth solo, you notice, like I thought about like the Devil Take the Hindmost solo. It starts G Dorian,
Yeah.
and from the moment that he introduces the first like atonal thing, it's sort of in that vein
It has
the
to be.
whole time.
It has
You
to be.
can't take it back
Yeah.
to normal, and it's just. It all sounds way too inside. Like you're like, because you're like, I'm a guy, I'm a perv. I'm a guy again. It's like, it just doesn't work. Like now we all know you're a
who you
perv.
are, yeah.
Yeah, we know who you are
Yeah, that
now.
makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think that Mancuso is going to do jazz festivals? Do you think the jazz?
Oh, dude, he's so big now. I mean, I love how because he came here, he planned it well, he came to NAMM, and now he's doing a tour in America.
Yeah, he
but I
did
love how every YouTube channel that's involving music is now trying to catch some of his clicks by interviewing him like on the way. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But it's just the way
I can't
that.
believe it got to Rick Beato before us.
Oh, well, we're never getting to Rick Beato.
Why not?
Honestly, he hates the Jews.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
No,
Nothing to do with the mad shit I was talking about him. Oh, can I say something about that?
yeah,
Because we I obviously talked mad shit about Rick Beato for
many episodes.
yeah, and in a really more offensive way than I feel like most people do.
Yeah,
Because I was
you're
like,
attacking his family.
Yeah, it's familia. Yes, I do. And he's Italian, so
By
he
the
knows.
way, if we ever get contacted by Rick to
Oh,
do
the
an episode,
podcast is deleted. All the podcasts.
every episode, if you're looking for them, they will all be gone.
Nick has a button.
Yeah, we
that
made
is
a red
pressing.
button that destroys the podcast.
Yeah.
And we will, without flinching, erase every episode. And
You would only hear about how much I love Rick Beato.
yeah, we'll just say we never. Did we ever say anything bad about Rick? Nick?
No, I don't.
No,
think anything
never.
too bad.
Never, nothing too bad.
Actually, we named our Nick Beato after him. Because he's so smart and great. So.
Yeah.
Uh,
What you were saying?
what was I saying? That's a good question.
Something about Nick.
Oh,
Beato.
yeah. Yeah. That, no, it's not about the Jews. That's what Danny's saying. That we have a show coming up in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah.
And the person that booked me is the head of Jazz Society, which I think is the heads and the tails. I think is all the entire thing. And he booked me there. and he's a very nice guy. He keeps referring to me like sir and Mr.
Sir?
Mr. Yeah, like it's been
Is he Asian?
no.
Okay.
Why? Why Asian?
I don't know. I just
We don't even have R in
anybody
their,
who calls
we
him
don't even
Mr.
have R in their culture. But
Yeah.
yeah, but he booked us with show and clinic,
Yeah.
and he contacted the university that we have in Columbus, Georgia, the Jet University, and they said that they saw videos
About not
talking
going
about
to
not
college?
going to college, to music college, and about how it's predatory, and they will not be associated with us and will not help promote any of our events.
So yay, our content is viral.
So I was like, maybe he did hear something. Because people are such assholes. That's exactly the type of shit they do. Like you talk a shit about somebody,
No,
and
I
they
know
and
that
they
guy. They texted to him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the exact stuff they do.
Well, we did put it out there, so
We also put a bunch of merch on his lawn.
we did.
That's coming up in our movie. Is it in the movie?
It is.
That's coming up in our movie.
Yeah, we're making a movie.
Yeah. Marbin does Dallas. That's the title, Nick.
I do like that title. It's a great title.
Especially because we're not playing Dallas.
Yeah.
Can we film a show in Dallas and release it like that?
I think a lot of people probably do that when they play in Dallas.
Oh.
You know,
Nick, can you Google X does Dallas and see what comes up on?
you're just sending him down a spiral of looking at like ball shots. In big bushes.
Yeah. Oh, same thing like I was saying. Porn started as something that was supposed to be, two people having coitus. Coitus. And then it became its own thing.
What did you think it was supposed to be?
Just two people making love
Oh,
and ball shots.
yeah,
And then it became its own thing.
that's true. Yeah, but I'm very curious because a student of mine just bought me tickets. Me and Nick, we're gonna go see Mancuso.
He bought you a Nick tickets?
Yeah,
Why
we
didn't you buy me a ticket?
Because you don't fucking count.
Who is this guy?
You don't
Is
know.
it
him.
Bob?
No,
Nick, who is it?
Do we want to out him on the podcast?
he's a nice boy.
Do I know him, Nick?
You don't know him.
So.
Oh.
You don't know him. Yeah, but we're gonna go check out Mateo, and did I say Mateo or Mateos? Mateos is Mateo.
Mentos.
Ma-
Mateo.
Yeah, Mateo. So we're gonna check him out on Sunday. So I'm very, very curious to see what the show is like. And
Whatever you do, don't talk about his family. Listen, I've seen a lot of stuff on shorts.
Yeah.
You can get a viral video if Nick films and you just break pasta in front of him. And he's gonna go, Mamma Mia! What you doing? What you doing? I don't know if you know that, but there's an
If in
entire...
like 5 years it's gonna be like bad to be racist towards Italians, it'll be so funny to have us canceled and then, like on the news they show a video of you like all the time said pizza.
Don't go get the family! No, there is a big part of the internet that is American wives or whatever wives with Italian husbands.
Oh really?
And they do things, yeah, Nick knows, he was like, yeah. And they do things to offend them.
What do they do?
Break the pasta. Tell them that French wine is better than Italian wine. Things like that.
Oh.
Like make them taste wine.
What do you have to click on?
Espresso.
Yeah, exactly. Or ice in wine. Or make them taste wine blindfolded and tell them that the French wine. And like, they say stuff like, oh, this is French, I know, it tastes like water. And the woman says, no, it's Italian wine actually. And they're like, no way, that is not, let me try again. And like, no, impossible. And then they take the blindfold and she shows them the bottle and it's French and like, oh, yeah, it's not Italian. Yeah, it's very good videos. Yeah.
I think we should invite him here to do an episode of the podcast.
Matteo, so I should just tell him everything I know about Italy.
He's just show up. We have like a table with like a red and white plaid and like a bowl of pasta and meatballs set up. It's still coming out. And you come and sit to the table. You just keep bringing out like Italian food.
Oh my
It is
God,
a deep dish
can we
pizza.
invite
You're in
him? He's
Chicago.
coming to Chicago. Can we invite him on the podcast?
It's Italian.
Oh my God, it'll be so hilarious. There's no way in hell.
He just thinks he's bringing his guitar. He's like, I show you the finger technique. It's like, forget about it. You just have a breadstick. The whole time we're just feeding him. He's like, this is a very strange. He's like,
No,
Mamma
but
mia.
no, it's gonna like I will start here like, well, before we have to have the wine.
Oh my God. That'd be the best content.
Can we
on
actually
the
invite
internet.
him? Nick Beato. Can you invite him?
He's invited to every fucking.
Oh my God, can we make a Gmail called nickbeato@gmail.com and Nick is gonna start in.
Get famous guests.
Nick is gonna start inviting people.
Nick Beato? That's brilliant. Just like get Steve Lucas there to come to the apartment every time.
Yeah, Nick. Oh my God, can we do it? Nick is.
The email's available right now.
Are you checking Nick Beato? At
I'm seeing
gmail.com?
It's available, yeah.
Oh my God, we have to start a Nick Beato channel. It's just a cooking show where we're super racist towards Italians.
Nick, we're gonna make you a star, Nick.
Only invite famous guitar players too.
It's too tall to be Italian.
That is so funny.
No, we have some tall Italian people.
Oh my God. Nick, did they have the emo?
I'm working on it. I'll let you know.
Oh my God, you gotta change your name too. Like seriously, like nobody wants another Nick Larson, but everybody wants a Nick Beato.
Another Nick Larson.
Yeah,
They do have a lot of them. They do have a lot of them. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Oh, Nick Beato's taken.
Can you be Nick Beato 1? Because I think that's his channel.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's not available.
What about the real Nick Beato? What's even better?
Nick eats his Beato.
No, the real Nick Beato.
The real Nick Beato.
Because you are the real Nick Beato,
Yeah.
but not the real Nick Beato, so it's perfect. I like how we're looking at Nick on his phone, and that's the podcast.
Yeah.
The real Nick Beato's available. I'm taking it right
You should take that.
Okay, you should take it, and then can you please email Matteo Mancuso's team? And
He was just on Rick Beato.
I know.
I think he'll know.
Well,
now. I moved to Chicago.
Hey.
We gotta scrap that interview.
Yeah.
You don't remember. English is not strong.
right.
Yeah, we should be.
If we invite him to Marbin, we have like a podcast. We probably would have to. Would they listen to a second of our podcast?
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, before like going on?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're inviting him. Nick is inviting him to our podcast right now. It's his
No,
first
I
email.
won't be able to like keep this funny thing going if he was in the room. I'd probably just.
No,
ask
we'll
him
talk about his guitar
fingers.
playing and stuff. Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, how do you play with 2 fingers or 3 fingers? And then I'd be like, I play the first one and then the second one.
Plays 3 fingers.
Yeah. And
It'll be an interesting interview.
No, I mean,
does everybody ask him the question of how you figure the shit out?
yeah.
And what did he say?
You know, I played with his fingers.
Yeah.
That's what it is, you know. It's just playing with
I
his
played
fingers.
the line, that's all, and the ba-ba-di ba-bum, ba-ba-di ba-bi-ba-bi, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-di-da, di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di.
This episode's a little bit tough, no?
It's never ending. It's never ending. How many people?
It's the joke that keeps giving, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we can be done. We
should be
We
done.
have stuff to do.
All right. So, yeah, Patreon, free CD on the Shopify, promo code to get you discounts, and see you next time.